Thoughts from the hot tub. Are we hooked up?
Yeah, we're hooked up.
Are we draining?
We're not draining.
We're not draining yet?
Nope.
When are we gonna start draining?
After we get out.
Oh. Oh, I thought we were gonna like
Sit in
it while it drained.
When are we 5-year-olds in the tub when bath time is over?
Okay, this is thoughts from the hot tub. This is my little hot tub that Robin got me for my birthday. It's an inflatable, and I don't think we're technically supposed to have it, but we have it hidden in the garage. So
I see nothing in the covenants that says we can't have an inflatable hot tub.
All right, so the topic for today is the box truck. Our move to Jacksonville. The year was 2014. And you had heard horror stories about moving companies.
Yes.
About
hostage loads.
And so you decided unilaterally
that I was going to buy a box truck and be my own moving company.
And we looked at, 3 different ones?
Yeah.
We drove to Milton, looked at that one, decided not to get it.
Yeah, that one would have been a mistake.
That would have been bad.
Yeah, it was too big.
Worse than the one we
Yeah.
ended up buying.
At least the one we did wind up being was a small problem instead of a big problem. You know.
Yeah.
It's like a 10-foot box truck. Okay, well, it was a broken down 10-foot box truck is better than a broken down 24-foot box truck.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It broke down. The plan was to make 2 trips.
Which time?
Yeah, it all gets foggy because it broke down so many times. But it was our last night in Jackson, Mississippi. We were at Fox Cove. It was like 10 o'clock at night. And my friend Kelly came over. She grabbed my dirty laundry and put it in the car so that I had undergarments when we got to our apartment in Jacksonville, Florida. Because all of our things ended up on the side of the road.
In the truck.
In the truck. And the only things that made it to Jacksonville on the first trip were the things that were in the Honda Fit. And I bought how big was that trailer?
I don't know. It was
like a 5-foot trailer?
Yeah. It was a very small utility trailer.
It was a very small utility trailer I bought at Lowe's.
With like 8-inch wheels or something.
And we loaded that thing down and tarped it. And I drove to Jacksonville. And I don't know what you drove or when you drove it, but somehow I ended up driving all the way to Jacksonville and then turning around
and rescuing me.
And you were in Marianna. And what happened in Marianna?
Well, the truck broke down and I had to get it towed to a dealership, and they said they would fix the problem. And after a week or so, supposedly the problem is fixed. And then I commenced to drive from Marianna to continue to Jacksonville. And I got about halfway to Jacksonville, and the truck broke down on me again. And at that point, I just determined that it was snake bit, and there was no sense throwing good money after bad. Remember when I had the doghouse off the engine, trying to keep it cool so that the ECU wouldn't overheat and throw everything off?
It was me and you.
So
it was me and you doing that. I pulled you out of the truck.
Okay.
And you were at heat exhaustion, about to have a heat stroke.
Anyway, so yeah, and at that point, discretion was the better part of valor, and I called a moving company and asked them to just transfer everything, and they actually towed my box truck to their lot and then transferred it to their truck, which works, and delivered it to us and got everything carried upstairs to our penthouse apartment.
Which we had no furniture in.
Yep, we were sleeping on the floor. We got pictures of
our first night.
It's just a pallet on the floor with a couple of ridiculous lamps that I think maybe we bought. Did we buy those at Walmart that night?
Yeah, when we got to the apartment, we realized
that there were no overheads.
We had no light. We didn't have any lamps, no light fixtures.
Yeah, there were no overhead lights, and it was all, oh yeah, we do lamps here. Why? When I turn on a switch, I want lights to come on in the ceiling.
Yeah, our house now is very nice.
Yes,
we've come a long way.
Yep.
So the Carling apartment was nice, but it flooded.
It didn't flood; it just rained inside it.
Well, yeah.
And the, had a leak above us, and
yeah,
the shower had issues. So, but we got all of our stuff, and we scrapped the box truck. I sold it for $100 to a guy to scrap it out for the aluminum box on it. So maybe someday I will own a box truck of my own.
But the moral of the story is,
don't buy a used box truck.
No, have an actual mechanic that is a good mechanic that knows the history of vehicles and common problems. Overlook it and check it out before, do a Carfax or something.
Yeah, the equivalent.
Or the equivalent.
Yeah. But I don't really need a box truck. I mean, for the once in a while that you need it, the once or twice a year it would come in handy. Rent one for $20, $50, $100.
So that next day, that next Monday, you went to work, and I was just a ball of tears. I was scared. I just left everything, and I was looking out the window, and there was a park, and there was homeless people in it, and I didn't know where I was, and was terrified.
You were scared of the bridges.
I was so scared of the bridges. I was so scared of the bridges.
You got over that real quick.
And then you don't know this part.
We've been here 10 years and I don't know this part?
You don't know this part. You invited me to lunch. Do you remember where we went?
No.
The Wells Fargo building.
Okay.
The little cafeteria.
Oh yeah, the little place there at the Wells Fargo.
But it helps me somehow calm my nerves, knowing that the Wells Fargo building was right next door to you. So that's our story, and we're sticking to it. Thanks for watching.